Now, the Lions got multiple brutal injuries just a couple of days ago. They lost rookie safety Dan Jackson for the whole entire 2025 NFL season with, I believe, a leg injury. And then they lost second-year cornerback Ennis Rakestraw for the season with a shoulder injury that required surgery, so he is also out the whole entire season. So the Lions got two brutal blows to their secondary. Dan Jackson, who's pretty much going to win that safety 4 spot. Now the Lions need arguably a safety 4 or just another guy to compete for the safety 4. And now the Lions definitely need a new cornerback 4 or 5 as well, because they do not have good depth now in the cornerback and safety positions. Still got really good starters. Starters are not worried here at all. But when it comes to depth, they need to get a lot better. So we're going to be looking at the best available free agent players in the secondary in this video. No other positions. It's just going to be cornerback and safety. So hopefully this video is under 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, I will say off the get-go, the depth, it's crazy because the depth for the Lions is bad, and the depth at the cornerback and safety positions left on free agency are also not very good. Still a lot of good top-end guys, but you'll see when I show you the list here. Not a lot of guys left who could realistically want to play and be a good cornerback 4 or 5. So here's the list. You got James Bradberry. Missed all of last season with, I believe, a torn ACL and did not really have a good year the year prior. Used to be one of the best cornerbacks in the league 3, 4, 5 years ago. Was all right on the Eagles. Like I said, he had a down 2023 season, and he missed all last season with, I believe it was a torn ACL. He would probably be the most realistic option out of all these guys as a veteran who can come in and be a decent cornerback 4 or 5 for us. James Bradberry, like I said, could be a very decent option at a very low cost. Now, second here, you got Kendall Fuller. This guy is also very interesting. He also had a down year last year. Been one of the most consistent cornerbacks in the league these past couple of, really his whole entire career, especially with the Commanders. He was decent last year with the Dolphins. Down year, like I said, but still a decent cornerback. Not a cornerback 1 anymore. Not really even a cornerback 2. But he can still be a elite cornerback 3 and then a very good cornerback 4. But in my opinion, he still is a starter somewhere. So it's just a matter of fact, does he want to win a Super Bowl or not? He's mid-age, he's 30. So the question is, does he want to win a Super Bowl right now or not? I think is what it's going to come down to for him. And obviously, you got Gilly Lock still out there. Gilly Lock has been out there essentially for the past 3 to 4 years. Gilly Lock will be anywhere from probably around cost $4 to $7 million. His market value here is 5.3, which I don't think is too bad. His production and play has gone down every single year, but it can still be. I don't think he's definitely not a quarterback 1 anymore. In my opinion, he's not a cornerback 2 either. But I could still see him being a very good cornerback 3 and 4. Kind of the same thing with Kendall Fuller there. But I do think Gilmore 100% still wants to start in this league. I don't know if that's the case with Kendall Fuller. So I would say Gilly Lock's probably more unlikely. I think Kendall Fuller is the more likely option. But I could see both as well. It would be amazing, though, to have Gilmore on your team, a first ballot future Hall of Famer. That would be great to see. Now, another guy, this in my opinion is the best player left in free agency, or I would say second best when it comes to the secondary. You got Rasul Douglas, has been, especially his last year on the Packers, turned into one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. Was very good with Buffalo. Dealt with a little bit of an injury last season, I believe. Had a down year a little bit. But he is still a number 1 cornerback in this league. He's extremely unlikely. I think the only way this would happen is if I don't think, there's no way this happens in my opinion. I mean, I think there was a rumor at the beginning of free agency that the Lions were interested in him before they signed DJ Reed. But he's been out there for a while. I think he's looking for a decent amount of money. I think the Dolphins gave him like a 1-year, $9 million offer or something like that, or $10 million, and he declined it. He won a little bit more. His market value is set at 11.9, which I think is about right. Very good cornerback. So he's extremely unlikely. C.J. Henderson, former first-round pick, I believe former top 10 pick, been a very huge bust in NFL career. Still very young, though, only 27 years old. Still has potential. Has been bouncing around. Was on the Steelers last year. I don't even know if he played any games last year. I think he was just on the practice squad. But C.J. Henderson, former first-round pick, not lived up to that at all, but can come in and at least compete for a cornerback 5 or 6 spot. Michael Davis, don't really know much about this guy. I'm not going to lie, so I'm not really going to speak on him too much. Emmanuel Mosley, I could very well see him coming back just because Brad Holmes loves bringing back his injured players. But as well, he can still be a decent cornerback when healthy if he can ever play. So I think that's just the main reason when it comes down to him. And then obviously Corey Ballantyne. I don't remember this guy on the list before, so he must have got released. I do know who this guy is. Wonder if he got released a couple of days ago, and I didn't see that until now. Asante Samuel, in my opinion, is arguably the other best available cornerback. He is, in my opinion, the only probably long-term option left in free agency. Not even 26 years old now. Is a cornerback one. His market value is even a little bit cheap here at 11.4. He is a long-term option. Apparently, from what I remember, the Lions did have some interest in him coming out of the draft, I believe in 2021, but they didn't end up drafting him. So maybe they could bring him in because of that, but they're going to have to give him a decent amount of money, and they're probably going to have something in the deal where a clause of some sort where he is going to get a significant amount of snaps or he's going to start for us, and I don't know how that would work with with Robertson, Reed, Arnold, Kirby, and Branch in the secondary. So I don't know how that would work. I'd love Asante Samuel, though. I would jump out of my seat. Him and Za'Darius are my top two guys that would want on the Lions left in free agency. Daryl Worley's out there. He's also a former Lion and played a game or two for us, I believe, in 2021. Maybe it was 2020. I don't think he played last year, though. Troy Hill, veteran, been bouncing on and off the league the past couple years. Jalen Mills could be interesting. I believe DJ Reed posted about him when he came here, so maybe there's something there. Cam Sutton will never happen. Caleb Farley, also a former first-round pick, I believe back in 2021 or 2022 by the Tennessee Titans, has also not lived up to that, but has also dealt with an insane amount of injuries in his NFL career. Really has not played, I don't think, more than 10 games in a year, if I'm going to be honest. That's how unhealthy he's been. Moving on to safety here. Now, there's not as many safeties, so we'll just go ahead and hurry this up. Marcus Williams is out there. He's probably the best and most realistic option at safety, in my opinion. He's been on the decline of his career. According to PFF, was the worst graded safety last year in football and had a down 2023 season as well. But just 3-4 years ago, and I know this is like a lot of these players left in free agency, but just 3-4 years ago, this guy was viewed as a top 5 safety in football. Like, legitimately, I thought he was arguably, possibility, the best safety in football. Like, that's how high I viewed Marcus Williams. I still view decently high of him. I don't view him as a corner safety 1 or even really safety 2 anymore, but I still think he could be a very good safety 3. So I would keep a guy out for Marcus Williams. Justin Simmons has been out there now for 2 or 3 years at this point in free agency. $5.7 million as a steal. Had a little bit of a down year last year, but still plays at a very, very high level. But he can still be a safety 1 in my opinion, so that's extremely unlikely. Jordan Whitehead is still a starting safety in this league. He's still on the younger side too, only 28 years old. Very good safety. He could be an option. He's not a safety 1, but he's a safety 2 and a really good safety 3. I'd love for Jordan Whitehead to come in. Dealt with an injury last season. George Odom could be all right. Jordan Poyer, veteran on the decline of his career as well. I would not be surprised if he don't even play this upcoming year. Had a pretty down year last year and has had a couple of down years now. Always dealt with injuries as well. Used to be a really good Bills safety. Marcus May used to be a really good Jet safety. He's on the decline of his career for the past 3 or 4 years now, but he could still possibly be decent safety 3 or 4. And then everybody else here as well could possibly be a really good safety 3 or 4. John Johnson, been a very good safety 3 in his career. Von Bell on the decline of his career, but could still be a good safety 3. Deshaun Gibson really didn't play last year. Probably not even a safety 3 at this point in his career. Probably more of a safety 4, but maybe him. Ryan Neal's out there. I'm still a fan of Ryan Neal, but he didn't really play last year. And the other guy out there that I totally forgot was still in the league, but he visited a team the other day. I forgot what team it was. I think it might have been the Raiders that he visited. I totally forgot he was still in the league. I didn't even know he was still playing, but he's a free agent. That is Terrell Edmonds. He is still out there, the former first-round safety by I believe the Steelers. I think it was 29th overall. He is still out there as well. So the Lions, there's a lot of guys still out there. The question is, do they go after any of these guys, or do they trade for somebody, or do they wait till cut downs after the preseason, which is probably what they'll end up doing. But maybe they do go after a veteran. Now, I'd prefer it to be a safety rather than a cornerback, but that's just my opinion. I'd rather have them sign a guy like Marcus Williams, Jordan Whitehead to come in and be safety 3, and have Avonte Maddox move back to cornerback to be CB4 or 5, compete with Yasin for that spot. That's what I would rather do. I don't like undersized safeties, and that's what Avonte Maddox is going to be for us. He's extremely undersized, 5'9", like 185 pounds, extremely undersized. I don't like that, and he has not really played safeties in his NFL career. He's been a hybrid type player, but he's not been a full-time safety like what it's going to sound like he's going to be for us this upcoming season if we do not bring in another safety. So that's personally what I would want. If I had to bet on the guy who would probably be the most realistic, I would probably say James Bradbury or probably Jordan Whitehead. One of those two guys. The guy who I would want the most is Asante Samuel, but that's extremely unrealistic. So who do you want in the comments down below? Your thoughts about this? Or do you think the Lions should just wait till cut downs or possibly make a trade at the last second on cut downs for a late round pick to get a cornerback or safety? So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Or do you think we're completely fine in the secondary? I've seen some Lions fans that do feel that way. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. One pride, go Lions.